All right, ladies and gentlemen, one and only James Williams, Star Waters, and I'm back. And today we're talking about this massive protest that's going on across the United States of America, or trying to kick off across the United States of America, which we shall call, and I've been alluding to, the Summer of Rage, and unfortunately, the globalist next move as an insurrection against the United States of America to take down America. We saw it coming. Anyone who's been paying attention could see this coming. And now, um, I think it's abundantly clear what we're dealing with. I don't think anyone can dispute the fact that we're dealing with an army inside of our nation that is trying to overthrow the United States of America. It is clear that Los Angeles, California, and other areas are occupied territory. It's clear. But I'm not going to say it out of my mouth. I'm going to let you look at this and see it for yourself.
Hold on one second. We about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go.
Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
The perception is that
now to Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Hi, Mayor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Hi. So what are
you
and your police force? I know how busy you are preparing for the hours ahead. What are you expecting on that front?
Well, I just have to say that if you dial back time and go to Friday, if immigration raids had not happened here, we would not have the disorder that went on last night. I will tell you that it is peaceful now, but we do not know where and when the next raids will be. That is the concern, because people in the city have a rapid response network. If they see ICE, they go out and they protest. And so it's just a recipe for pandemonium that is completely unnecessary. Nothing was happening here. Los Angeles was peaceful before Friday. When we find out when and where the other raids are going to happen, that will determine how the police respond.
Get down! Get down!
Oh! Oh, he got fucked. Oh! Fuck yeah! Oh my God, he got fucked. Oh, he's fucked. Gotcha, bitch!
So, we see that Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, with her demonic smile. Remember I told you when we went through the fires, I said anytime you see a woman with a smile that goes all the way to the side of her face over here, that's a demon. And we already know that Gavin Newsom is the quintessential essence of like a Dracula type figure. I mean, he's not like a Renfield that just runs and does little things at night in the dark. No. He's the uber example of evil. And so now we have these communists. I wouldn't even go call them Democrats. These are communists trying to overthrow the United States of America, and they're daring the nation to do something about it. See, everybody think this is about Donald Trump. It really is not about Donald Trump, and people seem to forget this. This is about the same kind of behavior spreading to your neighborhood and to your city. And so they challenged Donald, well, Tom Homan, let's get it over. You come and arrest me, right? And it's a catch-22 for the Trump administration. If we had less rhinos in the Republican Party at this point in time, they could squash this overnight. But because we have all these rhinos, these sellouts that are sold out, not forget the Democrats altogether. just because we have all these rhinos, if they make the wrong move, then they'll join in with the Democrats to impeach Donald Trump. And then on the other hand, you can't be the president and the administration that allows this to happen. So they put them in a very tough situation. It's a catch-22 for them, but unfortunately, they're going to have to do something about it. So there's talk about the Marines coming and being put on the ground, while simultaneously the lawfare is ensuing around this, where now they're filing court cases saying that he could not take over the reserve troops and put them into the battlefield. Basically, he didn't have a right to federalize the reserve troops. And see, this is a probing of the power of the executive branch of the United States of America. So everything he tries to do, they take it to court. It's probing the power to see where they can get a victory. And in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to get to the point to where Donald Trump and the rest of his administration starts to ignore these judges. They need to go ahead and enact the Insurrection Act and go handle their business. The media is going to fight you no matter what. Liberals are going to cry and whine no matter what. What cannot happen is, because of fear, we cannot allow the United States of America to burn because we're afraid of what people are going to say and what they're going to do. I'm sorry, we just can't do it. We invoked the Aliens Enemies Act and deported people, and then they fought it in court. And that's what you can expect to happen moving forward. And it's just going to be what it's going to be. Now, Donald's coming out and he's saying that he thinks Tom Homan should arrest Gavin Newsom. I think Gavin Newsom should be arrested. I think Karen Bass should be arrested. And there's laws on the books where not only can Donald Trump arrest Gavin Newsom, he can put another governor in his place. But America, quite frankly, we're a bunch of little wimps. That's the truth.
Gavin Newsom he's daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it?
I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look, I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows. All you have to do is look at the little railroad he's building. It's about 100 times over budget. We're putting a flagpole over there. Under budget. I always do under budget.
Response to the protests in Los Angeles.
And this is a significant escalation from President Trump, who had activated National Guard troops over the weekend without Governor Gavin Newsom's consent. In this new move, active duty military members are being deployed as a show of force against U.S. citizens. CNN's Natasha Bertrand is live for us at the Pentagon. Natasha, what are you learning?
Well, Brianna, this is something that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth had previewed over the weekend. He said that if necessary, he would deploy the Marines to Los Angeles to help federal agents with handling the protests there. And it appears now that these Marines, according to our sources, they have been mobilized. These 500 Marines, a full Marine battalion based out of 29 Palms, California, which is just outside San Bernardino, about an hour away from Los Angeles. They have been mobilized and they are gearing up to go and help ICE agents as well as other federal officials deal with these protests in Los Angeles. Importantly, they're going to be bolstering as well the National Guard, guardsmen and women who have been activated in Los Angeles by President Trump. But as you said, it is a significant escalation of the president's use of the military as a show of force against these protesters. It's really not clear, the last time Marines were deployed to help essentially with riot control, though it's unclear at this point just what their actual tasking will be. Typically, if they are deployed to these situations, it is expected that they will operate in much the same way that the National Guard does, doing things like perimeter security, maybe some crowd control. But the rules of engagement here, we are told, are still being finalized, and Defense Department lawyers are also looking at the kinds of rules of engagement these Marines will have as they encounter protesters possibly on the streets of Los Angeles. But again, this coming at a very, very tense moment with the governor of California suing the Trump administration over, of course, the deployment of the National Guard by President Trump against his will there in California.
So what exactly am I saying? What I'm saying to you is this. This is a huge, gigantic setup. It's what it is. We create a problem, and no matter what solution you pick to that problem, we're going to use it towards impeachment or anything that we can do. So he allows the riots, and they all call them peaceful protests, which I mean, maybe I should play the footage of them calling it peaceful protests. And then when you do something about it, now they want to sue. This is all about moving towards impeachment. And the more this pops off in other cities and other states, they can say, okay, well, he mishandled it and we're going to impeach him. Now, the consequences of this are dire. I mean, they're super dire consequences. And then we have the president of Mexico coming out and threatening the United States of America. And so something's going to happen. I'm sorry. And when you're in a catch-22 like this, sometimes you just need to flip over the table. And I'm looking, hopefully you're looking, I'm looking for where Donald's going to flip over the table. But in the meantime, listen to what the president of Mexico is saying.
If necessary, we will mobilize because we do not want taxes on the remittances sent by our fellow countrymen from the United States to Mexico.
See? You see what I'm saying? So what does that mean? What is she saying? I'll tell you what she's saying. She's saying she's going to organize and mobilize. She ain't mobilizing no army. She ain't sending no army into the United States of America. She ain't that damn crazy. So they going to mobilize their illegal aliens inside the United States of America to provoke riots and civil unrest in order for them to not get remittances, taxes. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you think that's dumb? Don't you think the best way to handle this would be for you to be calling and saying, hey, I'm going to need y'all to calm down, please. Calm down. But no. It's the exact opposite. Meanwhile, we have the entire media line talking about this peaceful protest, and it's obviously nothing peaceful about this.
It's pretty bad.
That's a different question, but I just want to just state for the record that what did happen in 1992 was so different from what we're seeing now. I mean, that was a real riot that went all across the city of Los Angeles after a verdict in the Rodney King case. This is a situation where the LA County Police,
Dana,
it's not good, but they're saying that they have it under control. And the president is sending national troops,
Dana,
federal troops, in a way that
we can look at
hasn't
this
been
and
done
we
in
can
a long
obviously
time.
see that it is not under control. It's not under control. You and I both can see that. It's not under control. And a riot is a riot. They're throwing all types of objects at law enforcement, and the president is absolutely right.
The most disheartening thing about this to me is this is clearly insurrection against the United States of America. But how much more do we need to see before they get what they want? And I'm going to tell you what they want. What they want is the next George Floyd. They want a Mexican or an illegal version of George Floyd. That's what everything about Kilmer Abrega Garcia was. Let's make him a martyr. They are now looking for a martyr. And so as over the next couple of days, probably by the end of this week, you'll have these popping up in every city. And then you'll see clashes in certain areas where conservatives go out to meet them. And then, quite frankly, we should get a false flag real soon where one of them is killed. And then there's their martyr. And then their hope is to have all of the illegals that are here come out into the streets and riot and burn and act a plumb fool, while simultaneously accusing the White House and the people of the United States of being insensitive and doing illegal things and making us stand down while they burn our nation. That's what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. And I could go further. Quite frankly, I don't really care to, but it's clearly obvious what's going on. I mean, it's super obvious what's going on. The issue is, when is the tide going to turn? So we got Marines going there. Marines don't play no games. But everything, the truth is, they've already staged the talking points by saying, oh, Trump is escalating this. You know, he's doing this. When he brought in the National Guard, it was an escalation. When he did this, it was no. It was escalated the moment you allowed those people to riot in the streets. You escalated it by allowing your police officers to be bashed in the head with rocks and boulders. You escalated it. The issue is, do the American people have the stomach to deal with what comes next? And how much abuse will America have to take before the people get the stomach for what has to happen? That's the issue. Meanwhile, they bring in kids. Who brings a kid to a riot? And then when your kid gets pepper sprayed, oh, they're pepper spraying the kids. Your damn kid shouldn't have been out there in the first place, man. What is wrong with you? They should take the kid from you.
We don't agree with the term illegal. We're undocumented. We've been here for thousands of years before you guys showed up, screw up everything. We think we should organize together with the U.S. working class and fight together and create a better system. We're anti-capitalist. We think socialism does work, real socialism, not Venezuela, not Cuba, not any of that crap that they try to sell us as socialism. And we believe it would be a more humane system that will take care of most of all people's necessities.
Is there a country we can look to kind of model the socialism idea?
The only model would be Soviet Union the first 4 years. After that, it became a mess. Sadly, there was a bureaucrat leadership that grew out of that, but it has to do mainly with the attacks of the U.S. and all big powers against that system that was working. In the few years that it lasted, it showed the world that it could do much better than capitalism.
And it's real simple, ladies and gentlemen. This is what our nation is contending against right now. This mindset that's prevalent in the state of California and every liberal city around here. They think that America is not good the way it is, and they're going to overthrow the American way because they think they can do it better. All right, guys, that's it for today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Deuces.